What's up, y'all, and welcome back to Planners and Wine. My name is Myra.
And I am Meg. Welcome back, everybody.
Yay, welcome back to yet another week.
Yes.
Finishing out March.
Yes, and our Patreon peeps are in the building for our monthly live episode. And this is a fantastic episode for the Patreon peeps to be with us because we actually have a lot going on in planner world right now that we're going to get to. But how is everybody doing? Chat, let us know how y'all are doing. Myra, how are you doing?
I'm hanging in there. I feel like I'm behind on everything. I'm just now like getting caught up, like currently reading stuff in real time with everything that's happening. This past week, you know, we kind of talked about it off air a little bit too, but it's just been crazy busy at work. It was also spring break week, so just trying to figure out things to do with him at the house. Yeah, I still ain't got no groceries. I need to do that. I just feel like I'm behind on a lot of things, but it is a new week and I'm hoping for it to be a little bit more typical, organized kind of thing.
I'm with you. I'm actually proud of myself because I got ahead on groceries this week and I did our grocery order yesterday. Hubby has already picked it up today. I already put those away. So y'all won't have to hear my door alarm halfway through the episode with him going in and out. So I feel like this week is going to be productive. Last week was a hot mess. I had like a lot of events at my job that were in like the afternoon/evening. So having to like balance that. Luckily, we don't do that like too often, but we just have a lot of stuff like happen at the same time. So it was a little crazy last week. But yeah, this week is going to be a lot smoother. You know, and we're just doing the best that we could do and trying to just be as normal as possible while, you know, the world burns. So
yeah. I mean, yeah, it's best as we freaking can, honestly. But I don't know, the random aside, do y'all have a shortage on orange juice in y'all area? Do you drink orange juice?
Yeah, we drink orange juice. I haven't noticed a shortage. We've been able to get it. We get it every week with our groceries. I have not noticed not being able to get it.
You know, and maybe a better question is what brand do you drink? Because maybe it's just a brand.
Oh, we do Simply Orange.
I do too. And it's always out.
That's strange.
That is strange.
Maybe
the I'm too far north to get oranges. Because even the oranges, there's no oranges in the stores or anything.
Really? I haven't noticed that because we usually get like the little cutie oranges. We love those, but yeah, I haven't noticed a shortage here yet. I don't know. I mean, I guess, you know, proximity to Florida might be coming in handy for once ever in history. Never, you know, just this one thing. 48th is one little thing with us. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe it's the opposite for me, Julie. Like they typically have the lemonade because we do Simply Lemonade as well. That's something I will splurge on. Simply just
absolutely
is the best.
If we're buying lemonade, it's Simply Lemonade.
Yeah,
period.
Absolutely.
This is not sponsored, but it could be.
It could be. But the orange juice is always gone, but I can always find lemonade, which is weird, but just a random question as I was looking at like, okay, what we need to get. And
you know what?
There's no orange juice.
I love the randomness because actually I like making like drink concoctions, not like alcoholic drinks, but just like, you know, normal drinks. And I used to always mix Simply Lemonade with ginger ale because it gives me kind of like the fizz of like a soda, but like the taste of like lemonade, and it's really, really good. And recently I started mixing Simply Limeade with ginger ale. It is fantastic. I call it ginger lemon or ginger lime. And I just love it so much. It's so good.
That's interesting.
It's really good.
I never thought to do that. Yeah.
Mixed. I think I like the ginger lime better. So I highly recommend mixing Simply Limeade with ginger ale, and it's just delicious. I don't know. It kind of is like a little cocktail.
What brand of ginger ale do you usually do?
I think we usually get Seagram's, if I'm not mistaken. The brand of ginger ale really does not matter, to be honest. But I think we typically whatever is in the green can, I think that's Seagram's. Is it?
They're both green. Canada Dry is green too.
Oh yeah, we'll do a Canada Dry. Yeah, we don't really have a brand preference, to be honest. So yeah, we'll just buy whichever. But yeah, think typically we get Seagrams.
I typically go with whatever's on sale, as long
There
as
we
it's not
go.
like Kroger brand.
Yeah, yes, exactly. That no shade to Kroger, but yes, exactly. Yeah,
Y'all do other things better, not ginger ale. That's for sure.
Exactly. I agree. And Julie said in the chat, simply limeade is good is good with margaritas. Good to know. Definitely might try that because it's yummy.
Since we're talking drinks, we did do a game night yesterday. This is such a random part, but y'all know how we do. But we did a game night, and we did every couple bring in like items for a drink that like kind of symbols y'all love or whatever.
Yeah.
So I did, I mean, we renamed it or whatever. I did a pineapple upside down cake drink. And it was really, really good with vanilla vodka, pineapple juice, and the cherry syrup. I
That
don't know how
sounds
to
really
say it.
good. How does it symbolize y'all's love? Did you have to explain it?
Yeah, but our name, we call it the cinema because our wedding was very movie themed.
Okay.
And also that drink was kind of one of the first drinks that we shared, and we really loved that. So it wasn't no huge backstory.
Gotcha. I thought you were about to say like we met in the upside down, or I was at an upside down place in my life. I thought it was gonna be like a deep, very deep. That totally makes sense. Is that what y'all wedding drink? I was thinking too deep.
No. Yeah, I mean, the drink
so
is
cute.
The original name had nothing to do with it. It's just that's what we liked. So we're like, let's just rename it and make it ours, kind of thing.
I love that.
Yeah.
That is
Randomness
so cute.
aside. Yeah.
I love it. You know, we need a little bit of randomness to get us through life and all the things. So Tisa said in the chat, I wonder what our drink would be. I need to ask my husband. Girl, I know. I'm scared to ask my husband. What you gonna say? I mean, he's not gonna say it on air because I don't trust him. Who knows what he's gonna say?
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Yeah, at first we were also gonna do like Shirley Temple, like a dirty Shirley Temple.
Cute. Love a Shirley Temple.
Do Shirley Temples, but the way Chuck was trying to rename that drink, I said, nah, we not. No.
He's trying to do a little too much.
Too much, no.
Yeah, I don't know. Cause like both me and Dallas really love a nice, good cocktail, but he is such like a bourbon and whiskey type of guy, and that is just absolutely the opposite of what I like. It has to taste good for me to drink it. Period. Point blank. Like it just has to taste good.
Yeah.
So
I don't want it to burn on the way down.
No.
That's
I'm out of that.
For me.
It's too elite. I'm not sophisticated enough to appreciate the history and it's, how long it was, whatever. Like, I just don't get it. It's over my head.
For me. Yeah.
It's over my head. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's a dude thing.
I was going to. That's true.
Julie Sarah's been likes bourbon too. Yeah, it's a dude thing.
And that's kind of why I was a little surprised when Beyonce came out with Sir Davis. That was her thing. Like it was like a bourbon or whiskey or whatever it is. I was very surprised by that. So it's the girls like it here and there. I guess. I know I'm a bad Beehive member, but I have not tried it.
I haven't either. I did look for it. It wasn't in the stores, and I'm like, I can't get it delivered here. Shout out to Ohio. So if I see it, I'll get it, girl. But
yeah, I could get it delivered here, but I just hadn't taken the effort. I've been trying to talk Dallas into getting it. He was like, I don't care about celebrity brands. I'm like, I care, and I want you to try Beyonce.
And that's why she put it on the market and put it up for awards without her name on it.
Exactly, but it's too late. He should have tried. He would have tried it probably before he knew that it was tied. I think he thinks that everything related to celebs is like gimmicks, which a lot of it is.
Yeah,
to be fair, a lot of it is, but I don't think this is. But I'm a little biased, so it is what it is. It is what it is. Oh, Kirsten said you have to order it from a store in India.
Man, Trump is going to drop kick that shit back to Atlantic Ocean.
Like send it right on back. You like send it right on back. Oh, Indiana.
Girl, okay, that makes a lot more sense.
Kirsten, you played us. You played us real bad with that one.
That's funny. Oh my
Indiana makes a
god,
lot more sense.
it does.
Like, what? Like that? That's weird. But I
That's a
wasn't gonna
red
question it
flag. But
because I
yeah,
didn't know. I didn't
yeah,
know. Wow.
yeah.
Yeah. All right, y'all. So we are back. And before we get into the topics for today, I did kind of want to talk about, or just kind of ask everybody in general, like, are we okay as like a community, a nation, a country, a world? Like, I just wanted to do like a little like end of Q1 check in and just to see how everybody is feeling. Y'all, please let us know in the chat. And it's okay if we're having some heavy feelings or if we're like numb and disassociating from everything. Like, I just wanted to kind of check in because there is so much going on. It's personally for me, it's so hard to just be normal and happy and live my normal life with so much going on. Like, I have just had to disassociate and tune out. Like, I still know what's going on in general, but I'm not in the thick of it. I'm not knowing every single detail of every single thing because I can't bear to. It's just too much. So I want to know, like, if y'all were feeling similar, or how are y'all dealing with the things that are happening?
This reminds me of that comment we got where that lady was like, "What uncertain times are you talking about?"
Girl,
Like this weirdo. What the
see,
fuck?
now that's weird because I'm not pretending like nothing is going on. I just want to see how everybody's feeling about what is going on.
And it's like a new person, so it couldn't even be like, oh, they're being sarcastic kind of thing. It was a random person.
She
Like,
literally is like, la
okay.
la
She's
la.
dead
What do you
ass.
mean?
Yeah.
Girl, know who she voted for anyway.
But yeah, I agree. I feel like I've definitely been disassociating. I feel like a lot of us have been feeling that way. It does look like in the chat too, just kind of worrying about ourselves, worrying about our community, and just, being in the know, but not like, deep diving into everything. Like, you just can't. It's just they're trying to do the whole throw everything at the wall and see what sticks. Like, pure chaos. Just all these different executive orders, just pure chaos. And I feel like it's meant to get folks riled up. And I love that at least, our people are like, yeah, no. Yeah, y'all got it. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and that's why, like, during the election, when a certain demographic of people wanted to act like, try to rewrite history and act like everything was just so peachy and amazing during his first term, I was so confused because, like, it was very chaotic then as well. Like, obviously things have been heightened. There are basically no guardrails this time, and he's literally throwing everything at the wall. But he was doing his absolute damnedest to do the absolute worst last time too. And so I don't know. I guess it's not a surprise this time. We knew it was coming. You know what I'm saying? And I have been able to find a little bit of comfort in the predictability in all of this, because literally this is what everybody said was going to happen. And if you have ears and are listening, you should have known that this was going to happen. But it definitely doesn't stop it from being, devastating and traumatizing and gross and cruel. You know what I'm saying? But definitely was to be expected, because this is just who he is. This is who he's always been. He does not care about people in general. I'm not even gonna say the American people, just nobody. And he's gonna do his damnedest to make everybody's lives harder as best he can, and that's what he's doing. But yeah, the chat is saying, Julie said it's hard finding joy in anything right now. Jeanette said, I've been disassociating and finding pockets of things that bring joy. Possum said, I'm getting joy where I can get it, like the stationary fest, planning quick weekend trips to visit friends, volunteering. Giselle said, honestly, it's been tough at this point. I'm starting therapy for the first time. That's really good. I'm really happy for you, Giselle. Yeah, and I'm with you. Like, I'm just trying to find, like, as much joy as I can in my daily life, in my community, and just try not to get, like, sometimes, like, if I get on threads and it's just too much bad news, boom, boom, boom. I really haven't been on threads as much as I was like last year, because it's all of that. Whereas like on TikTok, I'm getting a little bit, I'm not inundated with it. There's still some joy and some levity and some fun things and some cute things or just gossipy things to explore, and that's definitely been a good distraction. And also, books and movies and family time and things like that have helped me a whole lot right
You
now.
know, what's my hot take? If
Mm-hmm.
it wasn't for COVID, I 1000% believe that Trump would have had his second term then.
Mm.
And I feel like specifically the American people have to get to ground fucking zero, like bottom, like
Mm-hmm.
how COVID was so fucked up and how he just did not know how to handle that. Like we have to do that in order for people to be like, oh, okay, well, let's make a change. And then when shit goes well for a little bit, we need chaos again.
Yeah. I mean, that's how it's always been in this country. Like, things have to absolutely get like the worst that they can
Mm-hmm.
get, hit absolute rock bottom for it. Cause it's not even everybody. It's like for a select few to like get it and realize that like this is not normal. This is not okay. The things that are taking place. And unfortunately, it has to hit home for a lot of people. They don't care
Mm-hmm.
until it starts to like personally affect them. And then sometimes even when it does personally affect them, they still don't care. Like I was just seeing about this guy whose wife is in the process of being deported, who voted for Trump, saying he don't regret his vote. Stuff like that. Like some people, like or like the couple whose child was the first person to die in this country from measles in a decade, saying that they don't regret not getting her vaccinated. Some folks, it's not nothing is gonna make them get it. Nothing is gonna make them get it. But that's not the majority of us. At least that's what I'm gonna tell myself because that will be way too hard of a pill to swallow to know that even the majority of people won't care, even when it officially affects them. Like they're still gonna be just so set in their ways and not be able to like change or evolve. Like, and then they get mad when folks call them like idiots. And it's like, this is idiot behavior though. Like, I don't understand what else to call it.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't think it's most folks. I think most folks feel like it won't affect them. So they
Mm-hmm.
don't take action until they do. Until whatever it is does affect them. I don't think it's most folks that are like that are just like, I don't regret my vote or I don't regret vaccinations.
Mm-hmm.
They just kind of are the loudest or at least get the most publicity, I
For
guess.
sure. For
Because
sure.
it's crazy.
Because honestly,
It's
I'm just
crazy.
like, why are we even talking to people who are in a bad situation now and still don't regret their vote, or who child died from a preventable disease but don't regret not vaccinating? Like, why are we even talking to them then?
That's another thing too. We're so removed of how bad stuff like measles and all
Mm-hmm.
this disease we pretty much eradicated with vaccines that people
Mm-hmm.
don't feel like is that big of a deal, which
Yeah,
is
or
crazy.
they don't care until it's almost too late. Because it was
Yeah.
crazy to me how like people are like rushing to go get their kids and themselves vaccinated and stuff now, because of this outbreak, and it's just like, um, why does it have to take that? I don't understand. I don't understand.
There's a reason why we
Very
haven't had it. There's a reason
strange.
why it was eradicated. Like
Uh-huh.
what do you think? Like it's just 1 plus 1 is 2.
I mean, that's
Like
why, misinformation and everybody having a platform is so dangerous because of stuff like this. But,
mm,
Kirsten said in the chat, I jumped from one industry that people are trying to dismantle public health to another library. As somebody who does DEI work, yay, I've been listening to 2000 Club Bangers. Yes,
mhm.
Kirsten, first of all, you're doing extremely important work, and we appreciate people like you so much. And second of all, yeah, girl, um, everybody in the club getting tipsy. You know what I'm saying? Like bump them jams. Um, because it's like what else can you do? It's so exhausting and it's not healthy. And I swear I feel like his first term like aged me years. I'm not going to let this term do that to me. I'm not going to let this term. I'm not going to let him take away my life and my joy. And we just still have to find ways to do what we can for the people that we care about, and try to make our lives as good as possible. But it's tough. It really, really is tough. Everybody's feelings are very valid.
Yeah, 1000%. But
But yeah.
yeah,
Um, I was trying to think of a segue, but I couldn't. This company is really stupid that we're about to talk about. This company, honestly, I had never heard of this company called Happiest Baby. They are the creators of that snoo, the very, very, very expensive baby
great.
cradle.
Bassinet.
Bassinet. That's the word. That's the word. Yes. So
Now
I
we
had
so
heard of the
removed from
snoo.
baby stuff.
Girl, we're so. And I'm not the demographic for the snoo anyway, because that
Mm-mm.
shit is like $1,600.
Yeah.
It's
Even if I
crazy.
was in,
hmm
newborn territory, it was not in
It
my
was never gonna
tax
be the
bracket.
snoo. It was
Yeah.
never gonna be the
Mm-mm.
snoo. But anyway, so I had heard of that bassinet before. I had just never heard of the company, and they are in some hot water, very well deserved right now. Because there was a content creator named Brooklyn. She was pregnant. I guess she had some type of deal with that company regarding having a snoo for her baby in
Mhm.
exchange for content creation, very typical standard
Yeah.
stuff. Unfortunately, her baby passed away. I'm not really sure about the details, but the details of that really aren't important. The point is that her baby passed away. And during this time of like extreme grief, she has been bombarded with up to like 6 emails, according to her sister, from this company demanding their product back. I believe she had got in touch with them to let them know that she would not be able to deliver the content because of the circumstances with her baby.
Mhm.
And their response was to bombard her with emails demanding the product back. And her sister is the person who vocalized this on social media, because it needs to be vocalized. And I'm so happy that she did not mince words. I'm so happy that
Mhm.
she did not try to protect the name or the identity of the company. She just put it on out there that, like, while my sister is going through this like horrendously traumatizing time, this company cares so much about this product or getting their content that they are, don't care about what she's going through and demanding it back from her at a time like this,
Yeah.
and how extremely shitty that is.
Yeah. And the comments, because initially all we knew is that they demanded the cradle bassinet back from them.
Mm-hmm.
So they went to their comments because, of course, the internet is like, what the fuck? And all up in their comments.
Mm-hmm.
Like, hey, basically it's a misunderstanding. We were just asking for her to send it because we know how mothers can be in this time of grief. And then we find out, like, not only did they
Yeah.
not do that, they sent 6 emails demanding her to send the bassinet back.
Yeah, saying it was under the guise of like caring about her and her mental health and
Yeah.
what would help her was really
You don't need
insane. And like
six
you said,
emails for that.
that's when her sister was like, actually, it was like 6 emails. So I would love to see the emails, but at this point, it really doesn't even matter what
Mhm.
they said, because there was never any reason to send her 6. Like, no matter what type of language y'all are saying in those, 6 is demanding. 6 is demanding. Even if you're saying, hey, we can set up this service to get it out of your house so you don't want to have to look at it. When you push send on that 6 times, you're demanding the shit back,
Yeah.
which is exactly what her sister said.
Yeah.
Like,
That's exactly what you're doing. It's exactly
mm-hmm,
what you're doing. And it's sick. It's sad.
mm-hmm,
And like you said, I'm glad that she at them, because a lot of people in these scenarios, they will be like a company or,
mm-hmm.
someone we worked with kind of thing, like giving them that shield basically. But like, nah,
Right.
y'all deserve this. Like, this is beyond fucked up.
It's
It's beyond
beyond.
fucked up. Like,
Mm-hmm,
just take the L. Just take the L. I'm sure there's plenty of other people who, just decided not to
mm-hmm,
do the content for whatever
mm-hmm.
reason that don't involve the death of their child that you can get their snoop back from.
Right,
Like, take the
exactly.
L.
Take the L. Mm-hmm. Well, they are.
Even
Bigly
bigger one.
bigger than it ever had to be, because their comments are absolutely flooded. People are so rightfully outraged about this. A bunch of like influencers that are very well known commenting on this, people making content, removing snoo from their house or taking
Mhm.
it off of their baby registry, all that type of stuff. It's pretty loud, and it should be, because like the insensitivity is crazy. And I actually saw a TikTok earlier, and it was talking about the founders of the SNU. They are a married couple, and I guess one of the ways that kind of made them come up with this company and this concept was the fact that they were a couple that struggled with infertility, allegedly. So for them
Yikes.
to kind of
Yeah.
have that background, and obviously, you know, the founders are not the people sending these emails, but it definitely speaks to the environment of the company, that you would have a employee with, you know, such lack of like empathy and like basic human decency and training, that they would think that that behavior was okay. It just like I said, it just says a lot about what the company environment is potentially, and it's just horrific. It's just
6
horrible.
emails give company culture. It gives that somebody above whoever is these, the
Yeah.
content manager, social media manager, or whatever was pressing for
Mm-hmm.
that product
Mm-hmm.
back.
Yeah. And it's gross. It's just absolutely
And even if
gross.
she made the content, like
Mm-hmm.
even if none of that happened with her family and her baby or whatever, you're still not guaranteed to sell
Mm-hmm.
snooze. Like
No,
it's still a gamble regardless, but this makes
no.
it even worse.
Yeah, it really does. It really does. I mean, it's horrible. And yeah, Julie said in the chat that someone is telling somebody to send those emails.
Right.
Absolutely, they
Yeah.
are. And that's why I was like, initially, I was like, I don't want this to just fall on the individual who did this. And I'm sure at some point the company is probably going to try to make that person a scapegoat. It's not just them. It's not just the person who did this. Like, there needs to be some real change within the company, which is usually the case. And yeah, Kirsten brought up a great point too. She was like, meanwhile, Factor Meals is sending her free boxes and not asking anything of her. Yeah, her sister tagged Factor Meals in that same post as a way to say, shout out to Factor, because they have been sending her free meals. They know that this is going on. They're not demanding content or
Yeah.
returns or anything like that. They're literally just doing something out of just, you know, just pure care for her. And I feel like that's how this company should have handled it. Like, it wouldn't have been hard for them to let her know, like, you know, hey, we're so sorry for your loss. Whenever you're ready or at a point where you feel like you can do this, feel free to donate the SNU to a local women's shelter or a friend that you know is having a baby. However you want to handle it, feel free. Don't worry about us, like that. And it would have been very easy for them to do that, but instead they're like, no, this thing that people are paying $1,600 for, we need it back ASAP, and we don't care about you. It's basically what they said instead.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
In short, is exactly what they said. And they
it's
deserve
mm-hmm.
everything that comes to them. They were so
Mm-hmm.
pressed for the content to quote unquote make sales, and now you're losing it.
Literally losing it. Literally, because
I mean,
people taking it off of
reputation
their
too.
registry is
Yeah.
going to have a big effect on you. And I mean, I don't know what their return policy is, but if people are now returning their snooze, that's not great for them either. So it's just bad. It's just very, very bad PR and just a horrible thing to do. And you know, pregnancy loss and child loss is something that's unfortunately so common. You would think a baby company would know how to handle and navigate that way better, and they just didn't. They
Yeah, it
dropped
was
the
another
ball.
baby company that did some wild stuff, like wouldn't allow employee to have their maternity
Yeah,
leave because they weren't
yeah.
there for a year or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Like at this
Mm-hmm.
point, it sucks, but if you
Mm-hmm.
are a baby company, I'm getting
Mm-hmm.
red flags. Like you don't treat your employees right.
Mm-hmm.
In a sense, this is a contractor for them. So like this is employee,
Yeah, yeah. I mean,
like
I think it's really common, even in like the planner community, for brands to hide behind being like woman owned or
yeah,
things like
see,
that
I
to
was gonna
try
say
to,
I don't trust it, but I ain't want
yeah,
to go that far.
well, yeah, yeah, exactly. But it's just like, I feel like people say that, but then
Mhm.
the policies and the things they're doing behind
Don't
the
match it.
scenes
Yeah.
do not match up, but they're still using this as a badge of honor. And it's like, that's why discernment is important, friends.
Mhm.
Discernment is very, very important, because everybody's just not who they seem to be. So,
Yeah, they will
yeah.
gladly take those little brownie points of being women owned,
Mm-hmm.
minority owned, family
Mm-hmm.
owned kind of
And
thing because
still be
they
treating
know.
people like shit.
Yeah, yeah, and I'm
Yeah.
wondering, like, is
Mm-hmm.
the because you say that because it means something behind it. Like
Mm-hmm.
people trust you a little bit more and want to shop with you or whatever.
Yep.
So I'm wondering with us being able to see these examples, like with this
Mm-hmm.
snoo company and that other baby company and hockey, some of these planner owned companies, is that
Mm-hmm.
reputation going to get changed now? Like, are
Yeah.
people going to be like,
Yeah.
family owned, women owned? Like, are they going to do what they
Mm-hmm.
need to do?
Exactly. Exactly. Everything that glitters ain't gold.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm just saying.
Discernment is
I'm just
needed.
saying.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Lord, speaking of discernment or lack thereof, y'all, we hadn't talked about reality show in a minute. I think Traders was probably the last thing that we talked about because we completely checked out of the last season of Love is Blind. So because of that, I decided to give this new season of Temptation Island a chance. It was his first time coming to Netflix. I don't even know what was it on Peacock? It might have been on Peacock or something like that prior, but whatever reason is now on Netflix. I checked it out because I saw some spoilers about the season. I was like, "Ooh, this looks juicy." And so I watched like the first episode, but then I kept seeing clips of other parts of the season, and I could not finish it. It is literally unwatchable because of the treatment of women on this season in particular. Because if anybody's not familiar with the concept of Temptation Island, is basically established couples go on there to try to, I guess, like test their relationship or like whatever. And so the women and the men are split up into two separate villas, and the women have a bunch of guys, like new guys, come in to talk to and date and to see if they want to stay with their guy or go with the new guy. And the same thing for the men. They have new women come in for them to talk to and date, and then they decide if they want to stay with their current relationship or pursue a new relationship from somebody that they met on the island. And this one couple, this black couple, Breon and Shantae. It's so sad, y'all. Breon is like a full-on sex addict, which I'm not saying that to like shame him or anything like that. It really is like the truth, and I would hope that he would try to get some like help from that. It doesn't seem like he is, but whatever. He had just dogged out this girl Shantae, cheated on her, had a threesome in the other house. I mean, literally talked bad about her, did everything that you could do, and they left the show together, and they still together like a few months later. And once I found out they were still
Shocker.
together, I was done because he humiliated this girl. And this is only one example because the other men on the cast are not innocent by no stretch of the imagination. I just find his behavior to be the worst and the most reprehensible. It was to the point that even the host was like in shock that she decided to stay with him. It was like the host is like this like older guy, father figure type. It really looked like he wanted to step in and be like, "Girl, are you sure about this? You do not have to stay with him." Like it looked like he wanted to help her because she just seems like she has just been so like beat down by this relationship. It's like it's like there was like no fight left to her. It was sad. It was too sad to watch. That's my point. It was too sad to watch. And I
That's
couldn't do it.
insane. Did not hear about this show. I would have assumed Nick and Vanessa would have been over this, but
Thankfully, no. They already had a host from Peacock, and I believe the host came with the show. So,
okay, so it was on network TV, or is that network? I guess.
No, I get that. I think it was maybe exclusively streaming on Peacock, but I'm truly not sure. I'm truly not sure.
Okay.
But yeah, it just I think that Netflix is reaching the point where their dating shows are just not gonna work no more. In general, I mean, Love is Blind was a disaster. This Temptation Island, which is, I mean, it was so bad they released like all 8 episodes, I believe, at the same time, and didn't even do a reunion.
Yeah, I feel like Netflix probably bought out a lot of these like relationship type shows or greenlit a lot of these relationship type shows out of the early success of Love is Blind.
Yes.
And now it's relationship show overload for Netflix. Like
no, it is. It's like it's quantity over quality at this point, because I feel like the people who even go on these shows at this point, they know they're probably going to blow up. Netflix is just so huge. It's such a gigantic platform. A lot of people are going on this show for that reason. Because honestly, like if you're in like a decently happy relationship, I don't see a reason to go on Temptation Island. Like, unless you're looking for an excuse to like break up with your significant other, it makes no sense to go on that show. It truly, I mean, the show is designed to ruin your relationship if you let it, and it did.
It's given the ultimatum.
It basically is like that. Yeah,
just
it's very
with
much like that.
people like outside of the relationship type thing. But yeah.
Yes, exactly. Because like the ratio of people is so crazy too. Like there are 4 couples, so 4 men and 4 women, and then for the people they bring in like 12 men and like like an insane amount of people for these people to date.
That's wild.
It was wild.
I can see maybe 1 or 2 extra, but it's like triple.
Girl, it was insane. I mean, you really got your pick of the litter, basically. It was so many people there. I was so shocked to see so many people come in. And then the people who are coming in were just so thirsty.
I mean, I'm sure they were told to do that.
They were. I'm sure they were. Yeah. But some of them really put their best foot forward. I mean, come on. Like, yeah, it was crazy. Kirsten said in the chat, this is why we need the aunties and grandmothers to talk to the girls because we are losing the girl. The whole show, everybody online was like, where is Shantae? Like parents, like what is her mama? Like what is going on? Like even if her family like maybe didn't know that this was the nature of her relationship with him right now, they know now, and they are just letting it fly. Like it's crazy. And so Shantae, she went live on Instagram the other night. I don't know why she did that because girl, they been getting toe up on Instagram. Both of them have been getting toe up on Instagram. They went live and literally every single comment were just absolutely dragging her, asking her what's wrong with her, all this stuff. And I'm just like, does she just like torture and disrespect? Because why is she with this man and why is she on IG Live? Like, and you know the internet is coming for you.
It could be. It could be. Yeah, so I some people do.
She got a thing for punishment.
It's like digital self-harm.
No, literally, because there was nothing, she wasn't going on to try to get like, obviously you shouldn't try to get advice from people on the internet anyway, but she obviously wasn't trying to do it from like a perspective of, let me help y'all understand, why I'm with him, or maybe I can hear y'all's perspective. She was literally sitting there on live reading the comments. So
some things I just will never understand, and that's one of them. It's like, do you want to be famous by any means necessary? Girl. Do you like the attention? Is it self-harm? Like, I can't. Best of luck to her. I hope because she deserves better than that.
I hope she realizes that.
Yeah.
I hope she realizes that for sure. Because, yeah, that guy, he is a nightmare. A nightmare. All right, y'all. So we are back, and there is a lot going on in planner conference world. So we definitely have to talk about all of that. We have a little bit of breaking news regarding the Chicago Stationery Fest. This is something that was not on my radar at all. I literally just heard about this like a day or two ago. And I was like, oh, this is so cool. I'm so glad, more conferences are happening, blah, blah, blah. That definitely still stands. But it looks like they have gotten themselves into a bit of a pickle. It seems like the tickets, specifically the single day tickets, might have been oversold. So apparently on day one, there was a super long wait for people to get into the venue. People who got into the venue, it was way overcrowded. People were like shoulder to shoulder, not really able to like move around, see all the vendors, really enjoy it. And on day two, it looks like they have been managing the crowd way better, but the way they've gone about it doesn't seem that great, because I've seen in their comments, and also a few people who I follow who are there on their IG stories, saying that they had a ticket for day two and their ticket was canceled. So they're not able to attend. I'm assuming, refunds will be given, but, some people actually traveled for this. Right, one in particular person I saw, they actually traveled from California for this, and they're not even able to experience the festival at all because of this. And I believe this is like, it's because of a stationery shop in Chicago decided to put this on, and it's their first year. And obviously, first year, they're always trying to iron out the
Yeah, it's gonna be
kinks.
some kinks.
Yeah,
Yeah.
trying to figure out what works and stuff. But this is definitely a rough start for them because the comments going crazy. Like people are very. I took screenshots of the comments because I felt like they were probably gonna turn it off at some point because they turned off the comments on another post. But yeah, somebody said extremely hot and packed once I was inside, no water in sight, and I could barely get a look at any vendors' tables. Sucks for attendees and all the vendors who traveled to be here. Would have loved to spend money and support them, but physically could not. I have a day 2 pass, but I have no reason to try again today. It was going to be the same. That's what somebody
Yikes.
said after their experience
Yeah.
with day 1. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It sounds like day one was well less manageable.
Mm-hmm.
And like you said, like, I mean, this is the first one. There's going to be some kinks or whatever. I think they kind of messed up with the single day tickets because from the comments, because a
Yes.
lot of people are hot that it was at first you have to buy both days.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess it's closer when they got to the conference. It's like, okay, we'll do 1 or 2 days. I think they messed up with that. Like
for sure.
it's so easy. And we talked about this kind of a little bit offline too. Like I follow a lot of like anime and Comic Cons type thing. Usually for those like smaller ones or just getting started, what messes them up is selling 1 day passes. The logistic on it is just it's a lot. It's a lot because you have people that does buy both days. You know, you're have people that's going to buy one or the other or whatever, but then you have to keep up to make sure you're not overselling. And I think this is what happened when they offered the single day.
Yeah.
They end up overselling.
Agreed. I totally agree. Because somebody else said, if people who have tickets are having to wait for hours to get in, you sold too many tickets. The fact that you set up a waitlist website indicates that you knew that this would be the case. I hope you'll be refunding people. I feel bad for anyone who traveled to attend in particular. Yeah, exactly. Like, and I mean, because like Possum, at one of our patrons, was able to attend, and she's in the chat now letting us know that this was way better, way less crowded. She said by 4 there was barely anyone in the marketplace. You know, that's great for anybody who made it for day 2. Yeah. But you know, on day 1, I feel like they lost a lot of people because I mean, we had people, like I said, either getting their second day tickets just straight up canceled, so they didn't even have the option to try to go, or people who did have the option to try to go decided not to because of how hectic day 1 was. And that sucks for the vendors too, because it's like now you probably have the space and availability for people to be able to get to you, and ain't nobody there because day 1 was so trash. Yeah, you know, it really sucks. Hopefully they learn a really good lesson from this, because like you said, I think it's a bad look anyway to force people to initially buy tickets for both days and then give other people who waited the option of only getting 1 day or the other. That would already have put like a bad taste in my mouth. If I was one of those people who really only cared about 1 day, but I was forced to get both days, and now other people are only able to get 1 day, that's rough. That's rough.
Yeah, I say if you start with telling people, hey, you can only buy 2 day tickets, you got to stick beside it. Maybe that's something you visit the next time. Yeah, next time you do the event. But it's messed up for people who are like, okay, I'll just go ahead and get 2 day.
Yeah.
I really only want to do 1, but they don't offer that. And then you offer that later. And then you have the logistics, I'm sure, of people being like, hey, can I just do 1? I really just wanted to do 1. Can I have my money back? And just stick beside it. Like, I get y'all may feel like, okay, we can sell a little bit more tickets if we offer, 1 day passes, but it's just either do that in the beginning or say we'll look at that next year.
Yeah.
My suggestion, don't do that.
Don't do that. Don't do that until you really know what you're doing. Yeah. And Julie had a good question in the chat. She said, and how did they decide who to cancel?
Yeah, like it's just a lottery. Like, do you go with the last people who bought? Like,
that's not fair to them.
It sounded like some of the people got canceled had 2 day passes.
Which is crazy.
Yeah,
which is pretty crazy. So I definitely wish them the best. I hope that if they try to do this again next year, they can definitely lock down the logistics a little bit better. And I mean, I feel like we talk about all the time, like we have never tried to throw a planner conference because the shit is hard. The shit is hard. It's way harder than I think what it looks like to people on the outside. I think that particularly the conferences in this community have made it seem very seamless, and it's absolutely not at all. And I think that, obviously it's fair for people to have their like criticisms or the issues, but it's, people don't know what fully goes into it if they're not actually doing it. And the shit is hard as hell, and it's gonna take some time. I mean, next year for them probably not gonna be perfect either. Like, it's probably never gonna be perfect, but you just get better the
Each
more
and
that
every
you do
time,
it.
yeah.
And I definitely think, not that my advice means anything. Like, I've never thrown a planner conference, but I would think that starting small is probably better. Like, don't do too much. Don't try to get too greedy. Like, don't try to sell 1,000,001 tickets. Like, kind of start small and build. And I think, especially in this community where there's so much interest and so much love for stationery, and especially in a city like Chicago, like, it was bound to be very popular, and a lot of people were going to want to go. And I could see, maybe if they initially only had like 300 tickets for sale and they sold out right away. And then you got people in your comments, people coming to your store telling you like, oh, we really want to go to this. Y'all sold out. And so of course they're going to naturally like, oh, maybe we can, try to let a few more people in. And then before you know it, you got a situation like this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's the thing too. Like, stationery, like, folks love stationery. They may not necessarily be within the planner community. So you're not even, it's not just this subsection of the planner community. Like, it's a bigger thing. Like, stationery is huge, and you're marketing as a stationery fest. So you kind of have to keep that in mind too. Sometimes, and also scarcity is sometimes a good thing. People are going to remember like, oh, damn, I couldn't get them tickets. Them tickets went by. Look, Chicago Planner Conference. Speaking of Chicago, they have a reputation to be like, yeah, if you want to go, you need to lock in. And, it sucks. Like, I know people don't want to feel pressured into like being at the keyboard immediately once it goes on sale. But
yeah,
when you gotta do what you can, like what you have.
Do what you can and grow slow.
Yeah.
Grow slow. Possum said in the chat that they saw the email and everyone with the 2-day ticket got canceled. Yikes. That's crazy to me, because I'm thinking they were probably thinking, well, people with 2-day tickets already got to go to day one. So, but that's not necessarily
allegedly
true.
Yeah.
When a lot of those people were waiting in line and never even got into day one, or when they did, it was just so like, because somebody said in the comments that they got in and they only stayed for 10 minutes because it was so crowded. So they didn't even get to enjoy the conference. And these are the people who bought tickets first and paid the most for the tickets who got canceled.
Yeah.
That's why.
Not to mention people who probably initially only wanted day 2, but had to buy the 2-day pass. Maybe they didn't go to day 1 because they were only planning on going on day 2 anyway. So
yeah. Okay, wait. Possum gave us correction. She said no, not 2-day. She said the people with day 2 tickets. So the people who had only bought tickets for day 2 are the people who got canceled.
Okay, so they didn't get a chance to go at all, technically.
They didn't get a chance. It's bad either way.
Yeah.
It sucks either way.
It sucks. Damn.
Yeah, this is sucky. This is really, really sucky. Yeah, so I mean, there's been a lot of chatter about, planner conferences and stuff like that. We have started getting some of the lineup for Go Wild. We're not going to go over the lineup because frankly, we don't have the whole lineup. They have chosen this year to announce one speaker per day. So it might be a couple weeks before we have all the speakers, y'all. Just being honest.
Yeah.
And I don't think it's right to talk about them when we don't have the full list. But shout out to our girl Tisa. She's gonna be on this stage. Shout out to Kelva Plan. Shout out to Erica from the Sticker Party. Just some of the people who we know of as of right now who are gonna be on the stage. But it's crazy to see all these new conferences popping up, because we've even started talking about the Little Craft Fest that's taking place next month in Houston. And I believe this is their first time.
Comments saying congrats on selling out and stuff too for Chicago.
Girl, hopefully they taking notes.
They taking notes.
Hopefully they taking notes and like what not to do. Because honestly, I don't believe that theirs was like you buy a ticket for day 1, day 2. I think it was like a ticket to get access to the festival.
Yeah, whatever. Like a general access.
Yeah,
and then you kind of pick and choose.
You can pick what like sessions that you want to be a part of. So hopefully they're paying attention to this and like really making sure that they are good and they are tight on everything and not trying to do some. It seems extremely organized from the outside looking in. It really does, but you're never gonna know till you
Yeah.
actually get there.
You know what will piss me all the way off is seeing my ticket getting canceled and it say here's some other things to check out in Chicago. That
I
I
pay
will
for
be pulling
this.
up. Y'all gonna
I
let me in this off.
pay for this. Okay, so Jeanette told us, she said Little Craft Fest sold tickets for each day to the marketplace and then the option to buy the workshop. Okay, so
Mhm.
I mean theirs is kind of similar, I guess, but
It's a lot of logistics because I
a
mean I
lot.
can see that getting a little kind of crazy too because now you got to keep up with
Mm-hmm.
each small individual section too
Mm-hmm.
and make sure, but
There are a lot of sessions and stuff, which I
which
really love the
seem cool.
concept of
Yeah.
having like one low flat rate just to get access. And then you have the option. If you want to pay a little extra to go to this session or that section or
Hmm.
whatever, you can totally do that. You can make your schedule. I see a couple of the sessions they have on multiple times. So if one
Yeah.
falls into the same time as something else you want to do, you're still able to do both if you want to. And then you don't really have the problem of people being like, well, I pay X amount of money. I should get access to everything. $25 ain't getting you access to everything, sis. And I feel like that's very clear. So
Hmm.
nobody should go in even having that like entitlement or expectations that we see people having with other conferences, frankly. So this
Yeah.
might be the move. It's very different than any of the other like existing planner conferences. So
Yeah, and it's funny because we did have on the topic before the Chicago Stationery Fest thing went down of these smaller conferences and the hype around them and
yeah.
the clearly like this community is wanting something smaller, wanting, that community feel and to connect with
Yeah.
folks. So it's interesting to see so many pop up. And I think the idea is really cool. I think it's a
Mm-hmm.
good way to kind of not only support these small brands and small stationery shops or whatever, but also to connect with the people you've been talking to
Yeah.
online on a smaller scale.
No, for sure, for sure. Like that's honestly one of the main reasons why, like I hope we're able to make it to a planner conference this year, and particularly CBC because we hadn't been in so long, and it's just it just feels like a family reunion whenever
Mhm.
you get to be around like people in the planner community that you talk to all the time online, and to finally get to see them. So that's why I'm glad that like people are still finding ways to make these connections and more are popping up. I did see somebody put in their IG stories today that they feel like the East Coast is getting a lot of love with these planner conferences, even though Chicago is Central Time, but whatever.
Yeah, I would say I'm more central, but yeah, sure.
But but she
Also
was
Texas
like,
too. That's more
exactly.
central, but
Exactly. But she was like, she hopes that more comes to the West Coast. So look, this could be an opportunity if there's a shop owner, group of people on the West Coast who, I mean, there is a lacking in the market, I guess, for more of these things over on that side of the country. So definitely look into that because everybody don't want to have to travel a couple time zones to go to something.
yeah.
Because even though Chicago is Midwest, is not driving distance, and I think that's the point. I
Mhm.
think that's the point. I think people are wanting more local stuff. If you wanted to, you could drive to Chicago. If I really wanted to, I could drive to Chicago. You know what I'm saying? It's not that
Yeah.
far, but I think people are wanting more local stuff that is not such a huge investment, paying hundreds and hundreds of dollars for tickets and then having to fly, plus get a
Mhm.
hotel and stuff. People just want more stuff like close to them in their backyard within a couple hours. And I think that's
Yeah,
totally
yeah.
fair.
May not even have to take time off of work or maybe just that Friday
Mm-hmm.
instead of a few days if you have to travel or whatever.
Exactly.
It can just be a weekend thing. And yeah, and
Mm-hmm.
to Tisa point, like you're able to chat and build relationships with
Yes.
people when the
Mm-hmm.
size is smaller. And to Julie's point,
Mm-hmm.
y'all in these comments, like y'all are eating it up. But
Mm-hmm.
I like the come as you go, kind of concept too.
Mm-hmm.
Like I really do
Mm-hmm.
like that instead of just sitting there and you're, listen to a speaker. Like there is some, magic that can come from there too. But the come and
Yeah.
go as you please kind of thing, just I don't know, it feels more casual.
I think so too. I
Mhm.
think I think it's more casual and I think it kind of lowers people's expectations a little bit to
Mhm.
not go in like expecting so much. But yeah, we've had a blast at, pretty much every conference that we've been to, but yeah, in particular those really small ones where it's just a much more intimate feel. You actually get to know and talk to the people around you. Supporting those shops, getting to shop. Oh my gosh, it's the best. Like I spent so much money when we went to SGS that year.
Yeah, I
And
love it
I
because like
enjoyed it.
sometimes you just want one or two stickers and it's not worth
Mm-hmm.
paying for the shipping and but when you're
Mm-hmm.
right there, you can get maybe one, two, three, a little
Yeah.
extra because it's just you don't have to worry about shipping or waiting on it. The instant gratification of it.
Yeah.
I like it.
I like it too. I think it's really indicative of a shift kind of happening in the community. Because
Mhm.
Jeanette just said in the comments too, she said, I enjoy seeing people and making connections because I definitely don't need the swag. Girl, I don't need the swag either. I'd rather buy my swag. To be
High key,
honest,
to be honest, because I'm gonna use it.
if I'm paying less up front and I'm using that extra money to buy stuff that I like and I know I'm going to use, I'd much rather do that than have a bunch of random stuff that is going to get left at the hotel because it does all the time. People do that all
Yeah.
the time.
Yeah, swag is great, but
Mm-hmm.
also like it's generic stuff. Like when you're
Mm-hmm.
able to buy, you're like, I like this sticker, I like
Yeah.
this shop or whatever, and I'm definitely going to use it. But if I'm getting 30 pieces of stuff that really isn't my style or isn't like
Mm-hmm.
a planner that I use, it's going to get left behind.
Right.
Which
Exactly.
is that really helping the shops?
That's a good question. That is a
But
good
like they get more
question.
bang for their buck too when we're able
Yeah.
to buy what we want.
Mm-hmm. Very, very true. Very, very true. I mean, because I feel like everybody's just being a lot more mindful and conscious with the spending of the monies nowadays. I know I am for sure. So yeah, I mean, I'm just over the days of having a bunch of clutter in my space and in
Mhm.
my office, and I really wanted to just be curated of things that I like, love and enjoy, rather than stuff I'm out of the hoarding phase. I'm out of the hoarding phase. So,
Yeah, I feel like the overall, obviously some people
mhm.
probably are still there, but I think as a community
Mhm.
and, seeing these hypes around these fest and, smaller
Mhm.
conferences and stuff is kind of showing that, we don't need to
Yeah.
swag.
Yeah.
We're being a lot more intentional.
For sure. And you know what? I wonder if this kind of, surges of like these smaller conferences, I wonder if this is going to bring about more of a surge in like planner meetups, because we know like the planner meetup kind of died because of COVID.
I've
It
been
really
seeing
did.
a lot of
Uh-huh.
junk journaling meetups on TikTok too.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
Yeah. So I
Mm-hmm.
mean, maybe
Mm-hmm.
I would be here for that.
Yeah,
I
me
would be
too.
here for that. I wouldn't mind doing a junk journaling or even a planner meetup
Agreed.
locally. No, going to one. Let me clarify. I'm not doing it. I'm not
You like
organizing it.
Myra? What's the date and time?
Mm-mm.
Y'all can
No.
meet at Me Cozumel.
Yeah, that would be lit. That would be lit. We meet up there like 4 where it's like kind of dead
Mm-hmm.
or whatever. That
Yeah.
honestly would be lit, but I'm just not the organizing type, and I know that about myself. So you would never see a Cincinnati Fest hosted by Myra
Look,
P.
look, and it's
That
valid. Know your strengths, because a lot of people don't
yeah.
know their strengths, and they get
Mm-mm.
themselves into very bad situations. So
I
that's
feel like
fair.
I could do it. I just
Mm-hmm.
don't have the way my anxiety is set up. I couldn't do.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know.
Do you think you could do one?
I don't know. I don't know. That's a good question. I really don't
Hmm.
know. I don't know. I
I
want to
think I have the
say
resources
yeah,
of people and friends
yeah,
that could help me too.
for sure, 100%.
We could get
Yes.
Laura on the case.
I mean, she gonna do the whole thing. You ain't
Yeah.
got to do nothing else. Day at a time, she gonna do everything. Julie said, "Meg, I can see you doing it. Thank you, Julie. Yeah. Well, no, who knows? I could. I think I would love to see more just meetups happen. They don't have to be that complicated. It don't have to be a big expectation. You don't have to sell tickets for it to be a meetup. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like some basic organization is all a meetup really needs, and I think it definitely creates that community. I think the only thing that has me kind of apprehensive about it is again my social anxiety, and I always worry about lulls in the conversation, people getting bored. You know what I'm saying? I feel like
Yeah.
as the organizer, I feel like sometimes it kind of falls on you to like entertain a little bit. I felt that when we did our Beyonce listening party at Go Wild last year. Like, obviously it turned out really, really great. Don't get me wrong, but I felt like it was on us to kind of keep it going, keep
And
the party
see,
going,
this is
you
why like
know?
a fest type thing or a vendor
Yes.
setup and the coming as you go and please kind of thing
Yes.
is a lot better because then that relieves you of being the source of entertainment.
Exactly.
So
Exactly.
other people can do their own thing. Yeah,
Definitely.
if I would ever do one, it'll be a team type situation and leave me in charge of
Mm-hmm.
like logistics of the
There we
tickets and
go.
stuff. I love the
Exactly.
numbers aspect of it, but
True. And
customer
like I said,
service,
for me,
emails,
for
hell
me,
no.
you don't even need tickets. Like I said, just RSVP some type of way so you know how many people to expect, have like a limit, you know what I'm saying? So I definitely I can see that coming back because we was loving the Zooms and the stuff back in the day, but I think it's time for the in-person connections to make a comeback for sure. For sure. But yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see y'all. Definitely whenever we get the full lineup at WoW, we'll definitely talk about it on the podcast. But yeah, it's a lot going on. Let us know if y'all are going to any upcoming conferences or anything. Definitely let us know. We're trying to go to CPC this year. They did announce the dates a couple of weeks ago. And so I'm assuming that ticket sales and things like that are imminent. I think last year they did ticket sales when like April, May, something like that.
Yeah, it was right after Dallas.
Okay, so
It
that
was
would have been
maybe
like
like a week or two after that.
yeah,
Yeah.
that would have been like either close to May or in May. But yeah, so that'll be cool because you definitely gotta stay ready. So you don't have to get ready. And this is complicated because me and Myra will have access to the alumni tickets, but I can't even one of us can't even like jump in and get both of our tickets.
You can only buy for yourself. Yeah.
We both got to be ready, and like obviously, we don't want to go without each other, so we gonna be on the phone. I'll be like, Myra, you ready? You got your credit card? Like, let's do this.
Yeah, I mean, I may need to auto save the credit card in the phone or
Yes,
something.
something,
Yeah,
girl. They went quick
yeah,
last year. They
it
went quick.
did.
But you know what? And I love that you brought up scarcity because I don't even know or think that they do that intentionally. I think that they're probably just having the conference that they can handle having. And I respect that a
Yeah, it's
lot.
just a byproduct of it.
Yeah.
I don't think they're intentionally being like, because if they were, then you would see like, oh, we have 50 more tickets. Yeah, intentionally doing that shit. But they never do that. So yeah, I just think they're doing what they can handle, and that's okay. Like
that's okay.
everybody ain't gonna have a 2,000, 500,000 event. Like, nor do you have the staff, ready to do that. A lot of the stuff is volunteer based.
That's true. That's true. And I believe her name is Tori Artistry on IG. It's something like that. She's doing like a planner conference thing. Kelva Plan is doing like a birthday party, which is kind of like a small like day conference. Like, I love that so much stuff like this. It's probably Cloth and Paper is doing something. I don't know if they've talked about it a lot on their platforms, but if you go on their website, you can buy a ticket for their thing.
Yeah,
I don't
they
really
did
know
a
what to call
live.
it.
I don't know if
Oh,
they
they talked
posted
about it on the
about. Yeah, they
live.
did go live, and because I
Okay.
seen the live before I seen the email. I'm like, oh, okay, they're doing something too, which
Mm-hmm.
I think, and that's a West Coast type. I mean, is that West? No, East
No.
Coast. East Coast.
Yep.
They're in Virginia, so that's for people who want more. Oh no, they want more West Coast.
They want more West Coast.
Oh,
West
my
Coast,
bad.
where y'all at? EC is on the West Coast. They got an office on the West Coast. Like, this is y'all moment. Go ahead and plan a little conference. Yeah, they have an office on the West Coast.
Oh, for whatever reason, I thought they closed that store, but they closed the East Coast one.
See, look at the East Coast not getting love. Exactly. Nobody gets all the love that they deserve or that they want. Yeah, okay. So Cloth and Papers is their 10-year anniversary event. 10 years of elevated planning and innovation. You can get that ticket on their website. They said the Cloth and Paper 10-year anniversary runs from June 11th to the 13th, with events held at a soon-to-be-announced venue at Cloth and Paper HQ, both located in Richmond, Virginia. So, yeah. Tickets includes access to workshops and social events, cloth and paper happy hour with hors d'oeuvres and an open bar, alcoholic and non-alcoholic beverages provided, exclusive on-site products for purchase, and a physical keepsake to commemorate the event. This sounds very
That's
lit.
cute.
And if I wasn't already doing the absolute most with traveling this summer, I would totally want to go to this. So
yeah, I would be down for it too. But June and July. Yeah, I'd be back to back somewhere. But yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Exactly.
I'd be interested to see how that goes. But yeah, I'm excited for all these small events. And for the people who want more West Coast stuff, you have the option to do it yourself too.
Ooh, you don't have to wait.
You don't have to
You
wait.
don't have to wait.
Sometimes I think people like hold themselves, but I know it's a lot. Not
it's a lot.
We just said we would never do it, but I get it. But if you would do it and you want to do it, sometimes you got to make what you want to see.
Yeah,
that's or why this podcast exists.
Suggest it to your favorite West Coast brand or something like that, because I definitely know it's more feasible for like an established brand or store or something like that to do that. Yeah. But I mean, look at how Go Wild started. Look at how CPC started. Like those weren't started by like really like established brands or anything like that. It was just people who wanted something in their for their community. So just do it. Yeah. Figure it out. And like I said, start it as a meetup and just kind of see where it grows from there. It doesn't have to start as just like big event. Just kind of start it as a meetup and just kind of see what happens. So yeah. Exactly.
I'm excited to see how this goes. I mean, it's kind of like a turn in the planner community. I'm wondering what that's going to be for conferences in the future. Since are they going to pivot to more of a festival kind of or fest kind of vibe?
Yeah, I mean, it feels like the conference is not the conference, but the planner community is kind of moving offline a little bit. The Facebook groups that IG on his own life support. You know what I'm saying? It's still happening on TikTok, but the future of TikTok is so up in the air. Yeah. It might not even be there. It still has a presence and a life on YouTube, but YouTube is definitely way more like segmented than the rest of these platforms are. You really got to seek it out on YouTube. And it just seems like, the community outside of offline is really what's keeping it alive. And I hope that just keeps continuing to grow, because to be honest, I got way more interest in going to a planner conference or festival than I do of making planner content online. Yeah. I can see myself always going up to these type of events. I can't see myself making planner content. You know what I'm saying? So even just for fun. So
it would be interesting to see like planner content creators do collabs, like how makeup people used to do. Yeah. This just popped in my head because Julie put in like 2015, 2016. And that was really big in the makeup community. They would do a lot of collabs. So I wonder if that would be of interest of creators like that. But also,
what do you mean by like a collab? Just like making videos with other creators? Yeah. Oh, okay.
Being in the same videos, just that way. Yeah. That's how kind of like that community, that makeup community wasn't as segmented, like you mentioned. And I feel like maybe if that is something that the planner community or stationery community will be more interested in doing, that will bring different audiences to know one another kind of thing. But I don't know. Interesting. I feel like a lot of planner community content creators are more, I want to say antisocial, but maybe off to their selves kind of thing.
That and sense. I was about to say, I feel like a lot of people who are like creators are not like close friends with other creators. Like you'll have like a creator and then they'll have friends who are just a part of the planner community who don't do that. And I don't really see a lot of like outreach to like other people who aren't like in their like friend group. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's what I mean by the non-social part of it. Because I mean, those makeup people, they weren't besties. They just, that's true. Hey, you have a big audience. I have a big audience. Let's get together and make a video for your channel and mine. But yeah, just a thought. Since
that made me think. That made me think of like the song that they do every year for the EC.
Oh God,
Planner lunch. So yeah, that made me think of that.
Oh brother,
Myra, you're not.
That's not what I'm talking about. I want to see creative. That's what I think
of, because that still happens, and that's the only time I see it. That's the only time I see that.
Yeah, but
So, and
that's
that is an
also like
example.
you're
That's
making
a
that in your own room and putting it together kind of thing. I'm thinking more so like we're in the same room
Oh, well, see,
kind of
I feel like
thing.
that's hard because everybody is so spread out. I
Yeah.
hell, even me and you don't live, we a state apart. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
it's tough. It's really tough. Nobody live in the same places. They plan their
I
community
I
free.
can see I feel like a lot of Texans, there's a lot of folks
The Texans
within
are deep.
driving
The
distance
Chicago
kind of
people
thing.
too. I
Yeah.
feel like Texas in general, Chicago, like these are like
Hmm.
hubs, like planner community
Yeah.
hubs for sure, where there is a huge concentration of, because like even like here, like in Nashville, I don't know a lot of, I might know a handful of other people in this community who live in Nashville. You know what I'm saying? None of them that I have like a
Yeah.
relationship with really. So yeah, that's
Or if they even create like that too.
or
You
if they
run,
create
yeah.
like that, or they could just do what we do, and whenever we go, we're in the same location. That's when we make content together. So if y'all end up at the little craft fest with your bestie who live in Alaska, make some content.
Yeah,
You
that's a
know.
logistics thing there too. Because maybe you
Mm-hmm.
got to come in a day earlier and bust out a couple YouTube videos or whatever. I don't know. I'm just thinking. These are just me thinking out loud. These are not,
Yeah.
fleshed out ideas, but
Yeah.
just curious to see what the next, 5 to 6 years is going to be like in this community.
Agreed. Agreed.
Yeah.
It's going to be interesting. I would love to see more local meetups and events like this pop up. I was literally like just Googling like stationery stores in Nashville yesterday. I would love for something like a stationery fest or something like that in Nashville to happen. I mean, I wouldn't love it enough to do it probably, but I would enjoy it and I would totally support it. So I don't think I would do more than like a meetup or something like that, but we shall see. We shall see.
Yeah. Yeah, interesting, but it's a nice thing to kind of talk about because it's been a minute since we've
Mm-hmm.
been able to kind of have a planner segment, stationary segment on the show.
Mm-hmm.
So, but yeah, for the folks that went to the Chicago Stationery Fest, I
Mm-hmm.
say, it sucks. I know people are like mad. I'd be pissed too,
I
especially you
would
tell
too.
me there's other things I can do in Chicago. But
Ooh, yikes.
after you calm
Yeah.
down, I do say like give them some grace. This is their first time, and you
Yeah.
know, maybe not go to the next one, but maybe the one after that if they are able to kind of work out the kinks. And
Yeah.
I
Look,
don't think it was intentional at all.
no, I don't think so either. And I'm always apprehensive about the first year of anything because
Hmm.
it's just always trial and error and seeing what works and what doesn't. And unfortunately, you're kind of like a test dummy. Oh, not dumb, but you're a dummy. You
Yeah,
know
yeah,
what I'm saying? I'm not
yeah.
calling
I
anybody
get,
dumb,
yeah,
but you're like kind of a test dummy to kind of see like what works and what doesn't.
yeah.
So,
This is also why I
um,
don't get
yeah,
phones. Like the first release of an iPhone, I typically
yeah,
wait a few months or a
that's
year or
true.
whatever because they get to work out the kinks.
For sure. That's totally true.
Yeah,
That's totally true.
but
Yeah.
yeah,
I
I
hope they
definitely
work it
don't
out
think it's
next year too.
intentional. Yeah.
Mm-mm. I don't think so either. But yeah, y'all, thank y'all so much for listening. It was fun to talk about so much planner community stuff
Hmm.
this week. Let us know if y'all are going to any other conferences, festivals, things like that this year. Definitely keep a lookout for us being at one of those. Hopefully. And I think it's gonna be good. I'm excited. I'm excited for this year. I think a lot of cool things are gonna happen. So
Yeah.
yeah. Myra, did you have anything else for the peeps?
No, not really. Y'all know where to find me by my repeat on everything. Yeah, and I don't know. I'm just looking forward to seeing what goes on with this community. Definitely will
Same.
have eye out for all of the new events and things that's popping up. Where are the
Mhm.
releases?
Oh, well, that's a great question. I don't
Isn't
know.
it release time?
It looks like it is, yeah. And I have not seen or heard anything. I think what Happy Planner was gonna have one, and it might have gotten postponed or something
Hmm.
like that. I have not heard anything about Life Planner launch as of
Yeah.
yet.
Only thing that has been consistent is Hobonichi. Did you get one?
I did. I
Okay.
did get a Hobonichi. I did get a Hobonichi Weeks. I have not done anything with it yet, so hopefully it don't end up collecting dust like my other one. But I do have it in my possession.
Oh,
Um,
you got it.
mhm.
Like in
Yeah.
your hand, got it.
Yeah, I ordered it from Amazon. So I had it within
Oh,
a day.
okay. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
literally, as soon as Blossom said that, I ordered it like the same night, and I got it like a day or two later.
Okay. Thank you for giving me
So,
permission to get one too.
girl, do you? And I think Laurel Denise, I think she has. And I remember seeing an affiliate email a couple days or
Yeah.
weeks ago. Definitely not gonna give the details, obviously, because that's like in affiliate info. But she definitely had something coming up soon. I'm not even sure of the dates, but definitely keep a lookout for her. Cloth and Paper is always releasing new stuff. They just restocked their beautiful Valencia bag that I'm so obsessed with, and definitely have it on my list to get one day. Yeah, as far as I don't really know anything else as far as releases go. So, you know,
Yeah.
just
No,
keep a
same
lookout,
here.
guys.
Yeah.
Yeah. You want to follow me? I'm at Meg's Got a Plan on everything. Don't follow me if you don't want to hear about how shitty Donald Trump and Elon Musk are. Um,
Why you listen to this if you don't want to hear that?
that's a great question as well. That is a great question as well. Yeah, I don't really know. But yeah, y'all check out our Patreon, patreon.com/planners and wine. We have such a great time. Thank you to our patrons who joined us in our live episode today. We do 2 lives a month, a live regular episode and a live bonus episode. So you get to hang out and get a little bit of insider behind the scenes information from us during the show breaks. And our Discord is amazing to just, know all the cool things that are happening and the things that we're talking about behind the scenes. So yeah, check us out. But yeah, besides that, I think I'm good. Anything else, Myra?
No, that's it. We'll see y'all next time, and reiterating Patreon if y'all want more content. But yeah, we'll see y'all next time.
Bye guys.
Bye.